I also found out what Brightside looks like. Interesting
Same?
revelation.
Yes, indeed. I love the hair.
Yeah, I
Wow.
was gonna say there's a lot of hair. I like it.
It's been we've been growing it out for a hot minute. All right, so his box is coming.
Well, I yelled at him. Apparently he's in the game.
Okay, he'll come when he's done.
Wait, fuck man. So like school where we're like learning how to make video games or whatever. Basically my transfer credit doesn't give me enough to get past like the first year bullshit. But the first like assignment that we had to do in our game project class was just make a splash screen like solo before we like split into teams and all that shit. Literally just a splash screen. That's it. So like the school logo comes down or whatever goes out and that's it. This guy goes above and beyond and makes a goddamn game after the splash screen.
Oh.
Let me also state that this is a pass-fail class.
Oh. Interesting. All right. Let's jump into it here.
What the fuck?
Oh, open this. We'll skim through the draft here real fast. Sniper bands. Interesting.
Yeah, it's like Stonks' best hero. I guess I don't really want to play against Sniper.
Was it? I don't. I know. I actually know. I remember the first game now. I remember.
It's an
who I was playing.
interesting opener. Start our first phase. I don't know if it's inherently bad, but I feel like you just get like trolled or something, and then you're really sad. Just something to keep in mind.
I guess that sort of happens. I don't remember.
They picked Lifestealer.
Oh, did they? No, they picked Bristle.
Well, no, Bristol's. Oh yeah, no, Bristol was there.
Yeah, they did Bristle fucking carry. They tried to run us over in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Well,
It
I mean,
didn't really work out though.
So, it'll be like a small draft thing. So when you pick like a first phase heroes like Slardar, they're not like. These heroes are weird in the first phase because they're not normally like these like super stable, we can play into any kind of lane heroes. So when you pick a hero like Slardar, you generally want to protect them as much as you can with your bans, especially the carry matchups. Like Troll, Razor, these like things that he can't drow, like heroes that he can't really get on top of in the lane, and then they just click him. So,
we sort of addressed the drow part.
What?
I played drow this first game, right?
Yeah, you played drow. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, they have this. They could have picked it in the second phase here, and then have a good lane matchup, and then like, if they're smart, they protect. It's obviously very like mind gamey, but you don't have like if they were to pick like drow or something. PL's banned. They ban Spectre, and then like, what's your next hero, right? It puts you in a weird spot sometimes.
Animus.
Is PA a hero right now?
I've seen it picked in pro, like what's it called? Versus what's it called?
Well, they picked
SVG.
They picked Underlord. This is a sick drow pick, so good on you for seeing it.
Yeah. Boom versus SVG.
I will. Is this a 5 Dawn? 4 Dawn?
4 Dawn.
No, it's a 4 Dawn. Right?
Okay. I will say you didn't really address the Dawnbreaker at all. Like you have no cancels for the ultimate, or for the Q really. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Not that it's that big of a deal, but all right. Into game. Sure, you picked up the OD. You have a Drow, you have a Slardar, so you can generally.
I was very pissed this game.
Oh.
You picked Viper. Very angry.
Oh, they were thinking about going for me down here, weren't they?
I mean, as long as you're sitting under your tower, you're fine.
That is very spooky.
As long as you're under, like you being here is like kind of suspect. If you're down here, you can never die. So.
Stonks is like, I want his butt.
All right,
Yeah,
so
no, because
I'll just briefly look at items. You're against bristle. Wands are necessary. Yep, sticks. Yep, perfect. Did you copy my item build, Spaz?
I
I
don't
think.
think Spaz is here right now.
I love this item on starting at this item on
Yeah,
supports
Spaz
right
is
now.
in here
Feels
right
really
now.
good. Especially if you don't need to like hard spam out the lane, you can just play like a more chill lane. Like you can let the lane push into you because it's Underlord. Let your drow farm and then block their hard camp, and you'll be pretty happy. Mid, yeah, this is fine. It's fucking. Mid items are so ZZZ right now. Alright, so you blocked the large camp, that's good. This is just... Yeah, this is just ZZ Viper things.
Yeah,
You're
basically,
pretty happy when Vipers do this though, because they can... They're kind of like... There's a trade-off, right? So they shove the lane into you, but then you get the wave under your tower, and as long as you drag it further enough back, he can't really contest you.
yeah, he didn't contest.
Right, so like he can try. You should get all of these creeps, though. He probably could have gotten that deny, but so that's the trade-off you have to keep in mind. Something that if you guys want to put into effect against heroes like Viper, blocking the small camp is huge. Just that's kind of general versus most mids right now, so that could be something to keep in mind. Just so you prevent him from getting this like huge net worth lead on your off or on your mid. So I see we've got a lot of tangos up here in this lane. Fishy, are you here? You're here, right? So I don't know how much you've been watching offlane item meta. It's pretty standard to just fucking rush Ring of Health.
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't sure whether to do it on heroes where you don't necessarily build it into anything. But you still.
That's true. I think that's a fair point. I think when you absolutely need that sustain, it's just the best item to buy still, because otherwise you're like in this awkward regen spot.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you probably felt that.
Yeah, definitely. I don't remember.
I've also seen.
I feel like I may have, but I don't know.
What did you say, Scrum?
I've also seen people go Helm of Ironwill, like just a naked Helm of Ironwill instead of the Ring of Health in lanes where it's like they're right clicking you more instead of doing like spell damage to you, because it still gives regen, but it gives the 5 armor, which is pretty solid, or 6 armor actually, for a little bit more gold.
So it's like one less, it's like 1.5 less health regen, but you get the 5 armor for a little more gold. I could see that being feasible. I like the Ring of Health because a lot of times you can go back into like a hood, or if you're having a great game, or a lot of times if you are having a good game on like a hero like Slardar, you can get the Vanguard first, which is greedier. But if you can get away with it, it can be worth it, for sure. But yeah, I think the sustain, it's generally just a way to address your sustain issues, which I'm sure become very apparent here. Are we dead? We're dead, right? Yeah. So...
I think this man dives like a psycho, though.
I definitely died more than I should have this game. I think I died like 3 times.
What happened to the... Let me go back. I'm sure there's a way to prevent this. So the second... Hold on. Let's go back a little further here. So our lane's not pushing, so I guess this isn't very apparent. But the second he postures like this, you should just book it as fast as you can. Right? Because he's using spells on the wave.
Yeah.
So my first instinct is like, oh, he's pushing the wave. If I just run here and don't die, I get a free 3 waves. So that's my initial instinct. You, like, try to turn, like, just run. Just, yeah, right? Just... Voxes is trying his best to save you, but...
only so much a Ruby can do.
Only so much a Rubik can do, exactly. But the nice thing is, so, and this will be something for boxes. So if you when you have a hero like Slardar, and another applicable hero to this would be Night Stalker, when you have the lane in this kind of area of the lane near your tower, if they don't pull, you win the lane. Because what's Slardar's biggest thing?
Run at them.
You can chase them down, right? And if you're here, you get all this room to chase a hero down, right? Especially a hero like Bristle, who he wants to run at you. So it's even double better here. So so that'll be something for boxes to kind of talk about. This guy died, so you're even happier. So you kill him or her? Probably, yeah. Okay, happens. WCYD. So I would be trying my best to sustain the lane from going under the tower. I guess you don't have a choice here, but kind of sucks we didn't get that kill. I'm literally taking a nap. I'm sure there's some nuance. I'm sure there's some nuance to it, but I'm not super familiar with OD lanes, so this just seems pretty standard, where you astral and then CS. Then bottom. Seems like we're vibing for the most part. So he goes for a Ring of Regen, and then he's going to go Soul Ring. So this is something that I would recommend you never do ever on an off lane. It's fishy.
Ring of Regen into Soul Ring?
Yeah, so he's going to get this Soul Ring, and he's not going to have the HP to sustain it.
Yeah.
And then...
Better just do Ring of Health into Soul Ring.
Yeah, it's better to just do the Ring of Health. Absolutely. Yep. So you pulled... That would have been a nice time for a half pull, Spaz. I'm not sure how much you've really seen of half pulling. I had this discussion with my 5 and lads, actually, where if your small camp is not stacked and you don't have a hard camp, you should always try to half pull, which is where you get half of the wave in the pull. Because then those 2 creeps will die, and you're still protecting your carry. So if you're not sure how to do that, I'm more than happy to show you how to do that. Slating Stage is pretty snoozer, though, and we can see we're like always like kind of low HP, and tangos can only do so much. So tangos plus that Ring of Health would be super nice, I'd say, in this lane, because we definitely get the gold to do it in this lane. This guy's fucking psychotic.
Yeah.
And you can notice that he's trying to play a sustained game too, right?
Yeah.
So
H is an offlane player, isn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like double bad that you don't go for some sort of sustain items, right? Because he has sustain, you don't. So he's gonna naturally win this HP trade. Alright, we're gonna speed it up a little bit here so we're not here all day. We got the rune. Oh, we tried to contest the runes, I see. So you left the lane on Spaz. Everybody just died. What? All right, guys, relax. What the fuck? I guess there's really no way for you to know this is coming. Whatever. The second you see your ogre is gone, screw him. You should be under tower.
he?
Or you should be a.
Well, the thing is, he just finished killing the Dawnbreaker, and I was like, oh, cool. And then...
I mean, you literally have a lane ward here too, right? Like, you see this coming. You should be... Yeah. I would be here. Like, you let this wave connect, it's going to connect like here-ish. You're here. You can't see where my mouse is, but you're in these trees. Like, you even trying to be up here is psychotic in my eyes. And I'm sure you know better. The second you saw that Dawnbreaker, you were like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, I'm probably dead here. I think I actually said that in comm.
Yeah.
No, that was later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you try to kill Bristle with Meteor Hammer reveal? Yeah. So.
Yeah, I kind of fucked it up.
Okay.
Mistimed it.
That happens. You do it on the H of channeling, I think, right?
Yeah, it's on the beginning of the H. I accidentally did it like 0.1 seconds too early.
It happens. Respectable attempt. You saw a bunch of heroes across the map.
Oh, things are happening bottom.
Another good
Yeah,
rotation here. Stonks is in our.
That's where you said that you thought you were dead.
Yeah, I think I was like,
TP'd
oh, well,
bot. When I TP'd bot.
Harb saved my life.
Yeah, I'm thinking
we're almost at the good part though.
in general, it seems like Fishy, we're not like respecting his damage.
No, I don't. Yeah.
We're not respecting his damage, and B, if we just understand that a hero like Bristle, he's always going to push the lane into us. And the same concept for like Underlord or Sand King, right? So if he's always pushing the wave into us, we can just take the farm as it comes. And if we coordinate, keeping him from taking these camps, we trade farm, even though we're a weaker hero. Right? So if we're a weaker hero and we win trade, and we're winning, and we're like trading farm, that's a win for us. We're weaker now because we've lost, a couple of, we've died a couple times, but that's life. So we bring a sub out. We see the Dawnbreaker running at us. We live. There's just 80 heroes here. You tried to fight. Scrim's a psycho, but it's fine. And now you TP top. Oh, we're gaming. This is elite gameplay.
Gaming, bro.
Oh, we're gaming. Oh, we're gaming so hard. Oh.
This is like the longest fucking rampage ever.
Oh, we're gaming. Honestly, that's just...
Don't skip over this next part. I turned my brain off.
I mean, that was just really clean, right? You guys brought numbers mid, and then you TP'd appropriately to help your guy getting dove. Like, that's just super clean gameplay.
Don't talk about this part.
Okay, you ran in and died, I see. This is just, I mean, I'm going to tell you this, and you're going to say, I know that, but, it's just a discipline thing. You have no resources. If you have no resources, you have no business trying to fight.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I just got rampage. Let's go for more.
Yeah. So.
Do not look at my health.
So we got some awesome kills, but because we, let me go back and look. So we got these kills mid. They were pressuring. Oh, so what? How long was this mid tower under pressure? What happened? Is it just from you rotating, I guess?
Yeah, it was from me rotating.
Yeah, so that's kind of the trade-off to you getting these rotations, and it's like it's a pretty big point of discussion for a mid, right? Where if you TP rotate and their mid doesn't leave, they're always going to pressure your tower. So you either take that trade, but this is your best friend, right?
Yeah.
So when you go to a lane, somebody should react accordingly to defend this mid. It's like this trade-off. Like, you TP'd bottom. Rubik then should come mid. Or it could even be Slardar. And you just take the farm and experience that's coming onto your tower because Viper's pushing it in, right? That's 100% just something that needs to be communicated, though, in-game. Like, I don't expect you guys to just be like, magically know that Harb TP'd bottom unless he says it. So.
I'm pretty sure I say when I'm TPing.
If you're like, I'm TPing bottom, the 3 and the 4, you guys could talk amongst yourselves and be like, I'm going to go take mid. Because it's free XP, and most importantly, you're defending your mid tower. So a lot of this is probably a result of... it's like a cumulative effect of us not really paying that much attention to our mid tower. And it sucks, right? Because we lose our mid tower at 11 minutes. You hate to see that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they tried
I
to
forgot
play
he
pretty
questioned
fast.
worst year.
overall.
They tried to play pretty fast, so our map is in a kind of weird spot. Our OD's dead. What phase of the game are we in? Let's just start there.
Run away from them.
We're in the they want to run at us phase, right?
Yes.
So we still attempt to keep our rule of keeping 2 of the 3 lanes shoved. But it changes a little bit in the sense that whoever is mid needs to have heroes behind them. Whoever's in the side lanes are more independent. Are we following that train of thought?
Yeah.
Right? Because anytime we're in the scenario, the natural convergent point for these teams is right here, where Scroom is getting gone on. Exhibit A. maybe he doesn't die. Maybe he doesn't die here. But that's not the point. The point is that you're scared to be here because you don't have help. So if they have any sort of if anybody's even remotely near this Underlord, you're dead. Right? So you living is not you being a good player. It's them being bad.
I think I might actually. It's either I die here and I'm just like, oh, cool, I was in a bad spot, or I don't die and I'm like, oh, cool, these guys are bad.
Yeah, and if they're there a little bit sooner, you're taking that win all day of the week. So, Fishay, what's your timing this game?
Blink as usual. but
Blink. Yeah, blink's your timing. Are you a fighter before you get Blink Dagger?
Not unless they're like diving tower.
Not unless we're needed. Absolutely. Who is your strong hero at this point?
OD.
OD. Right? So let your OD be the focal point. Let him deal with these heroes running in. You go fucking hit some creeps, man. You've got great wards top, so you can farm up here. You can pretty much farm where your drow is not. And Harb's going to have to become that hero that can't hit as many creeps for a couple minutes because they're playing like psychos, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's because you're the strong hero. So the strong hero sacrifices a little bit of his own game to make space for the cores that are having worse games. We talked about that a little bit last week, right? So you kind of just are like standing in front of your drow, which is kind of cool, but... Oh.
Goes well, just goes
You
Well-
also forgot that Boxes is a god.
Yeah, they did just kind of let you steal Curse, didn't they?
It's done.
What the fuck?
Very fucking weird, bro.
Yeah.
So I'll just say, I think there's no point for you guys to take this fight point blank. Period. They have 5 heroes here. Just go push your other lanes. You've got great wards top. Like if you had somebody up here, it could be awesome. You can push out bottom. What's the thing that they're lacking?
Mobility.
Mobility
I mean, they're
and
not
one
very
other
good.
big thing.
Building hitters.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, they don't have great building hitters. They don't have catch. That's what I was looking for. They're lacking a lot of things, but they don't have
That's
catch.
good. Yeah,
Like if
they
you're
rely
sitting,
on Winter's Curse.
if you're sitting in a
Other-
side lane, what the fuck are they gonna do about it?
Or run at you.
Maybe they run 5 heroes at you, right? So say you're top. Say you've pushed this in, you're going to farm this wave under tower, or like over here or something. They have to bring like 3 to 4 heroes to kill you. And even if they kill you, somebody is then shoving these lanes. Right? So we're kind of playing that game of cat and mouse we had described in our first week, where we're not really interested in taking big fights yet. What?
I just, yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm ringing some bells here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We're not super interested in taking these fights, so we're just going to dodge them. Right? If they want to bring numbers to an area, we're just going to go to an opposite area. And we get this kill, which is cool. Harb had to buy back, though. That feels terrible. We're
He
sad.
did kill H.
Yeah, but in terms of like,
Still not worth.
it's not
Huh.
worth it. You killed H, but you died, bought back, got 1 kill. They got out on everybody else. Like, that doesn't
What's the
seem
point
super.
of pride?
Yeah,
He
this
killed 8.
still feels bad.
Yeah, it still feels bad. So, looks like now we've stabilized a little bit, right? So we're gonna sit. This is like what I wish we had been in earlier, and we're gonna notice it feels pretty good, right? Fishy shoves in top. The Drow can then farm the triangle. Somebody shoves in mid. Whoever's mid needs to have heroes behind them. Scrim is just like constantly 10 HP.
Yes.
Don't worry about
Yep,
it.
this is perfect. Yep, what's happening right here? Love this. This is chef's kiss. Right? If they bring the heroes towards mid, you have heroes to help Harb. Drow's going to be in the triangle. Fish's farming is blink top. And notice how it's pretty telegraphed what they're going to do, right? So you have time to, like, you know, react to what they're doing. And that's a large result because of they don't really have, like, great, you know, get on top of you catch heroes. So we know that they're going bottom, and we choose to defend this. Wyvern is, who the fuck knows what Wyvern's doing there. So again, why take this fight? Right? What's the end gain from you taking this fight? In an ideal world, I suppose.
We defended our tier 2.
You defend your tier 2, you get like 2 or 3 kills probably, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that seem super realistic given what we know about their lineup?
No.
No. Right? We know that they're going to what? They're going to run at us. They're going to probably have numbers everywhere they go. And the only way we could win a fight is when we have these big item timings, or they're like diving us insanely hard or something, right?
Yes.
So if we don't meet those conditions, no fight. And that's something. Yeah, just sit top, sit mid. You know, you could take this mid tower while they're doing this. Like, you said they don't have great building hitters. Abuse that, right? They want to sit 5 heroes bottom. You know, that's going to take them like 2 minutes to kill this tower. You have Glyph. You can maybe even sit your Rubik in the trees to delay it. Like, don't let them dictate the tempo. Or you can let them dictate the tempo without giving them control of the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Also, in theory, Fox is probably, because the Underlord's always going to be pushing in the wave with Firestorm. He could steal Firestorm and just push the wave out.
Absolutely. You are 100% correct, right? Boxes, if you get a wave clear spell, you just permanently sit in this lane down here. And what do?
Nothing.
They cry because their lineup is doo-doo.
And then I think at that point, if they do try and dive to get boxes, it's kind of worth Box's life to just keep the
exactly.
box
Exactly. What's gonna happen there is you'll kill like 2 waves, and then they'll get fed up, and then they'll dive you. And maybe you die, and then they're gonna be spending another 2 minutes trying to kill this tower, and by that time, all of these lanes are gonna be in, right? Like, this top tower's dead, this mid tower dies. Their entire map is gone. They have no map control left because of how we've reacted accordingly. Right? And that's kind of what I see playing out in my head. But instead we take that fight, and it doesn't go well. So we probably give up on fighting down here, I would assume. Fishy is going to come back here. You have no business being down here.
Yeah, I just didn't know where else to go. Scrim was pushing in top. I guess maybe I could have went with him, but I just wanted to leave him by himself. And then,
You could have maybe backed up Harb mid so he could have pressured the tower a little bit. I don't know.
I would probably be top right now.
yeah.
Like, you can just
Looking
be,
back at it,
you can just be like farming the small camp, like just being in this area top so you get this tower. You don't have to be behind the drow, just like, you know, farm a couple camps here maybe, like just be in the area. What you're doing right now is like asking to die, pretty much. And that's, if you're lost in a game, you know, it happens a lot, right? It's not the end of the world. I like, when I don't know where to go, I like to do a reverse list on, like, what are the areas I for sure cannot go? Because that's where I'm going to die. right? I for sure can't go bottom because that's where I'm going to die. So I'll go anywhere else that's not there. That's like your starting point. And we keep bringing heroes down here. Yep.
Good foxes.
And I won't lie, who could have possibly seen this one coming, right? Do we notice how, like, we're, like, half defending this, and it still took them, like, 2 minutes to do this?
Yeah.
Imagine what would have happened if it, maybe you not defending it takes them, like, 20 less seconds, right? Imagine how much map control you could have gotten in those 20 seconds. Right, that fight was like 45 seconds long. Imagine if this lane's shoved, you're getting this tower. This lane shoved, you're getting this tower. You can. The next level of that is that you place wards in here, and then you kill them when they try to come back. Right, that's how you flip the map into your favor. So it's all kind of just stems from like taking these dumb fights. Like, we really don't have any business taking these fights, and it's hard in the moment to recognize that, right? Because you don't want to lose your bottom tower. But every time the enemy tries to take an objective, it should be at the expense of a trade. And that trade can take the form of, a multitude of different things, right? But it generally consists of them losing some semblance of their map control. Because to take this bottom tier 2, you need a lot of resources, or you see them all. Because they need a lot of resources, they should be losing lane control in their other 2 lanes. Their jungle should getting farmed. They should be losing the efficiency game by bringing an excess of heroes to take this objective. And you can relate this probably the most towards like a Roshan, right? When a team commits 5 heroes to take Rosh, if you can't fight the Rosh, what normally happens?
The lanes in.
Yeah, exactly, right? You push bottom all the way into this. You push top in. Like, you do anything else because you know that they're in a consolidated area. So you take that and you apply it. If they're bottom, go shove the top 2 lanes. If they're Rosh, shove mid and bottom. Maybe farm their triangle, right? So you can apply this to like any point in the map if they're in a consolidated space. Especially if you don't want to fight. I do think it kind of starts though, right? Did anybody ever talk about like, we don't want to fight right now?
I think I said it a few times, but that was because I was like, I just like hitting creeps.
Okay. It really needs to be like a all teams on the same page thing where where everybody knows that we're not trying to take a fight and everybody's doing their part to avoid those fights. So shoving lanes, getting vision where we need it, playing the other lanes, right, et cetera, et cetera.
I think Harb was the one that said, like, right as that bottom tier 2 was falling, he was like, okay, guys, we need to stop trying to fight these guys. They're trying to just run at us, look at their lineup, and we just take what we can get from the map, I think is what he said at the time.
I've probably said that a few times.
I agree.
Just like, I think I just like sit behind me and just let me just meme hammer this fucking tower down.
I agree completely with what Harb just said. And now we see, right, they've been forced eventually to come back and they deal with mid. They dealt with top kinda. That frees up Fishay a little bit of room to get this bottom out, right? He gets his Blink Dagger. We get a little bit of time to, chill, get our ice items, get our resources. And the next time that they run at us, maybe we're ready. But we should constantly be updating our opinions on if we can fight every, 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think we fight here just because it turns out to be good because of how they're positioned.
Yeah. I think that's completely fine, right? We think they're in a fightable spot. You take it.
We also said they wasted curse, so we wanted to fight into them right now.
Okay.
I don't think. I don't think. Yeah, they ran out away, so it's like back to push with new hammer.
Yeah, like, I think I said they
The
don't have
fuck
curse,
is
so take
this?
that mid tower. I think he was going halberd for my fucking drow here.
Yeah, I don't know. H is weird.
This is where vision, like that vision top, by the way, would be super useful because you can know that if a hero's up here, then you can force mid in a little bit harder. So
Yeah, I was a little bit worried with how
right, you're a little scared. You don't know where they are. You're just gonna walk up and you're fucking insane. But I guess they don't really have.
Yeah,
I guess
they haven't done shit, so I don't know. Fuck that. I'm just gonna.
Perfect. This is great.
He's fine. He's fine. He lives.
Okay. But this is perfect. So, what was the big thing that happened in leading up to this? What had we achieved? And what are like our big indicators for wanting to fight?
I got my blink dagger.
You got his blink dagger. Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So any opening you see, you can be like, "Oh, now we can jump on this." Exactly. And now we kind of probably break the game wide open, I assume, because our draft is just 30 times better.
Yeah.
Right, we kind of just kill them periodically when they come in. Yeah. Now we're looking good. So this is a good topic of discussion here. So this bottom wave needs shoved. So who do we think is shoving this wave?
Drow, probably.
I would say slider.
So this should be Drow.
Actually, no.
This should be Drow. So
It should be. It should be me.
It should be Drow. So Drow should TP bottom, and the other 4 of you should come together, and you'll push mid out, and then you'll loop,
Run top.
and then you'll run top. Well, there's 2 options, I suppose. You can push this in, and then ward their triangle and play here, while Drow like pushes through here, right?
Yeah.
That can take a while though. So normally the more efficient play is to shove this, catch this mid wave, and then go back through top up through here. The only reason I say this is because nobody's shoving bottom, and then we send Slardar here. I hate that it's Slardar because he's like your big catch hero.
I think I asked Scroom if he wanted to go back and get it, but then like, I don't know if he didn't have a TP or something.
Well, he TP
Well, he
top,
TP
so we
top,
definitely had
so-
TP.
Oh, I know I asked him if he wanted it, and then for some reason I
Yeah, it's also awkward because you need, so whoever does this needs to be able to shove this out 1 or 2 more times, in my opinion. Probably 1. But it winds up working out relatively okay. You're gonna get this out 1 more here. That's fine. Yeah, you're a little scared. I'd be scared too. And then we're gonna collapse on top. Perfect. This is perfect timing to take this top tower. Somebody should be mid to catch this mid wave, which we are. Man, you guys are so good. Why does he have a Gleipnir? What the fuck?
It stonks, bro.
I also find there's like an inordinate amount of people that enjoy buying Gleipnir for no fucking reason.
Yep. So the reason we don't TP top, except on our 1 core, is so that we can react to if somebody goes bottom, which is exactly what happens, right? So now we all have TPs to connect to this thing bottom.
Yeah.
And now we want to fight, and now we need to get all our lanes out, and then we'll go Roche, because we have Slardar
And OD.
and OD. I forgot OD's a Roche taker now. Yep, so we'll shove mid in here.
It's so weird,
Yeah, I don't even think about that, actually.
but it's so fucking fast.
We also had
You don't
DD.
even need the fucking armor reduction from.
We also had DD on me, which is kind of
I mean,
Yep.
They've tried to like fucking go.
So, and you have a ward, perfect, and you're gonna kill them because you have a ward. Yep. This is just like textbook gameplay, and when you play textbook, it's very easy to punish the enemy, right?
Yes.
You take Roche, you set up Vision, you're stronger than them. They try to contest you, you fucking murder them.
Especially when the other team is like they've sort of missed their timing at this point,
Yeah,
and their draft isn't as solid as ours. I don't think.
absolutely.
Dog
Yeah,
shit.
definitely goes that way as well. So, I'm assuming the game is just clean from here, for the most
Yeah,
part,
it's
right?
More or less.
Basically.
Kind of stompy from this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It lasts 14 more minutes, but whatever.
I think the important part of this game was already discussed. In that,
I'm sad you.
what?
I'm sad you missed the point where Fishy blinks in to corrosive haze someone, dying instantly. But then I one-shot the person he corrosive hazed. So
Oh my god!
I think you one-shotted.
it was the Viper.
Yeah, you one-shotted Stonks.
Because I had Silver's Edge, so I Silver's Edge crit hit him on the corrosive haze version of him, and he was just gone.
Well, it was also you also got your marksmanship proc too.
Probably, yeah. So it was just like there was a Viper on my screen.
See how my fantasy
And-
team's doing? All of my Dota crashes, because that's what happens when I stop watching these games.
How many points did you get? Sweet.
This week, so I have 108.74 points.
I have 178.04 points.
What do you have, like, you probably have, like, what, Josh Allen?
No, I have Herbert,
And do you have Mike?
Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Austin Eckler, Edward Zulaire, Higbee, Rondale Moore,
Are you full,
Carlson,
are you like a,
Arizona.
are you like in a full PPR or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. I'm in a half PPR league, so. I have Najee. Imagine if I had full
Shit,
PPR
is
and
it full
Najee.
PPR? I think it is full PPR.
Alright. Let me download
Yeah,
this. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Fuck me.
God. Bright side moron confirmed.
Man, right, so I gotta say, that's not the best loading screen.
Hey,
choice
dude,
I've
it's
ever
I
seen.
have it on shuffle, but for whatever reason, if you watch like back-to-back replays, it doesn't change the loading screen.
It usually doesn't change it based off of it changes like each time you load into Dota or whatever. It's weird.
Alright, let me take a quick gander at this graph here. So it was a pretty even game until about 25 minutes.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
it was just Weaver was like AFK farming basically, and then we didn't have catch for Weaver at the end, so you just had a free game. Like our game plan was basically like we have to burst Weaver down really fast, otherwise like because that's their damage. If we don't get him, then it's like, oh shit, what do we do? It didn't help that Fishy and Boxes had a hard lane bot against Timber, so
That's a very rough thing.
I stand by that. I wish I had played Shadow Fiend in this game.
yeah, I didn't play SF that well. Probably wouldn't.
Do you
been
think
on
this
the
was
time,
a
but it's fine.
physical damage game?
I went physical damage. I think so. I mean, it might have been.
I think
It might have been fine to go magic. That just puts us even more on the timer, though. I think.
I mean, does it? I think Tiny's insane in late game right now.
Mm.
From what I've seen, I think this carry Tiny shit is fucking insane late game.
I could have got. Yeah, I mean.
That, I mean, everything you're just saying to me seems like if you'd gone a magic build, you might have solved your issues, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's hard to see in the moment, so I'm like not blaming you or anything, just hindsight. And I actually think physical damage SF is better too, so I don't even disagree with you on that.
Physical damage SF is better.
Yeah, but like in like a game like this where you need to like burst a hero at the start, it might have made more
Yeah,
sense.
magic SF is just better for that.
Yeah. Well,
it's
until you're
also
six.
it's also like one of those things where you look at their lineup, and I see like 3.5 backliners. Right, if you
Magic SF's just really good at dealing with that shit.
and either you kill the backliners or you prevent them from saving their hero because you have an AoE fear, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of goes both ways. The SF pick here is just really weird to me. For what I don't know what screamed SF about this pick, but
No, I wanted safe lane SF.
I
Yeah.
see.
I was shouting at him that I wanted to play it. But
So you wanted Tiny because you can just like one shot the Weaver at some point, right? I imagine.
Yeah, that was the thought behind it. We were
and
debating
they picked
whether or not we.
Timbersaw.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Timber mid, so I'm like, I'll take SF mid, and then we throw a Tiny safe lane. But then it was Timber safe lane,
I see.
not Timber off lane.
Okay. Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have taken Tiny mid against the Weaver.
Yep. Got it. So the nice thing about playing against heroes like Timbersaw in the safe lane, Mr. Fichet, is that you can generally abuse creep waves because they don't kill creep waves very fast. So it's kind of awkward for them to deal with a creep wave under their tower and then a hero dealing with their waves, right? It is made a little more awkward by the presence of Jakiro, but that's why you have a support. We're high-fiving. Perfect. Team morale is high. Love to see it.
Sarah said that the goal is to kill her as many times as possible this game.
Also, I'll kind of just say the one thing I see most that's incorrect mostly in Timbersaw lanes is they don't abuse him enough in the first few levels.
Yeah, you gotta kind of like run at people.
He's really weak right now. Like, look at he just like took like 2 hits and he's like lost like an eighth of his HP. So I feel like you really need to put a point of emphasis on abusing him early. And then if you let him get to this level like 3 to 4 point for free, then the lane starts to get really awkward. Mid, I mean, I don't know, your SF versus Weaver. This should be a fucking free lane for you. Which I'm assuming it is, but
I win the lane. Yeah.
yeah,
Pretty
this seems like a
handily,
pretty
I
free
would
lane.
say.
I don't know what Weaver does to you. He's a mid Weaver. And then top lane, Tiny seems real good in this lane. I won't lie.
Pretty sure I absolutely slapped their titties in this lane. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. One thing is you are laying against Shadow Demon Spaz, so maybe starting like a stick might have been better.
I have a stick coming out.
I know.
tonight,
I
though.
see that you have a stick coming out. Spaz does not have a stick, so that could help you a lot in this lane. You can like reverse the order that you buy these in if you want them to. Like you can start the stick and then you can buy the sages with your like second courier or something.
Particularly into this lane because the stick's going to give you as much mana regen because they'll be spamming those spells.
Right. I mean, and to be fair though, I mean, I think Shadow Demon doesn't want to go E level 1, so.
On a support, no, I would probably.
I mean, I don't think you should ever go it. But so I think all of our lanes should be okay unless we don't play aggro level 1, which I'm assuming is going to happen here. Am I ringing some bells here?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I focus more on like pulling the lane back, getting in my favor.
Yeah, so it's actually interesting, right? So your gut instinct in most lanes is to pull the lane back and get your CS, right? What's another method that we could use to get creep waves?
Push it into their tower.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And that's probably the one that's least utilized because it's not as easy to see, right? Or it's not as easy to implement, but against a hero like Timber, you shove the lane into him, and then you go, and then you grab this wave, and then you pull it over, and then you farm this. And so now he has to choose between missing creeps under tower and chasing you. And when you're a strong hero like Timber, he wants to chase you. He wants to punish you. He wants to kill you. So when you force him into that decision, he feels really fucking bad. But you have to force him into that decision first. Otherwise, you're just kind of giving him what he wants. He grabs the rune, whatever. ZZZ, mid to ZZZ lane. Is it worth buying a sentry for this lane? I have no idea. You do, okay.
Yeah, I do, because you can just hit the raises on him when he Shikuchis. I end up getting a kill because of it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I imagine would happen here. You get the ward. And I would just be raising him off cooldown. Fairy mangoes if you need to.
I
actually think...
I do not play SF, so...
Okay, that's fair, but...
Well, to be fair, I don't play mid.
Yeah,
so
fair.
That doesn't really mean much.
That's fair. Do you go Soul Ring? You do. Nice. Excellent. That's what I normally see. You need the mana. So, we're gonna...
Tiny without Soul Ring is a sad time.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. 100%. Also, one more thing, Fishay. Is there a reason why you like level 2Q?
No, I definitely like level 2W better. I don't remember why I went this game.
Okay.
It may have just been a misclick. Maybe.
I see. Yeah, I was gonna say, you maybe get this kill if you have level 2W. And this could have happened the second you both got level 2, by the way. You could have used all your spells on him and forced him into a weird spot. Like, you force a salve, or you force, defensive spells or something, but instead you kind of just get bullied off now.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I actually think if you go Yules this game, you get it at, like, 10 minutes, and then you can just fucking run to the Timbers lane and kill him, or you can run to the Axes lane and kill him. Or you can solo kill. You can literally solo kill any hero in the game, right? With an early Yules this game.
Yeah.
Right, and that changes the tempo of the game drastically, because you're no longer playing a reactionary game.
Yeah, I'm snowballing out of control, and they have to fucking deal with me.
Right, exactly. So instead of your team is no longer like, how do we make moves? We can't kill any heroes. This game's really weird. Now you're like this overwhelmingly powerful presence on the map. You're like a vacuum. If you go there, the enemies have to run.
Yeah.
Which is actually the same thing that it operates under the same principle that Timber does eventually, where he's also a vacuum, right?
Yeah.
So now there's two vacuums, and so the map gets really fucking wacky. But that's generally good when you have kind of like these unorthodox lanes. You want the enemy to be in these weird spots, because normally they'll mess up at some point, right? They'll mess up, or they won't use their lanes correctly, or they'll miss their timing, because they're running safe lane Timber, like off lane Axe, like I don't know what the fuck's going on. Nice Riz. And Scroom's gonna... The nice thing about Scroom's hero this game is he's not really a, stationary farmer, right? He can join fights. He's a tiny. He has insane damage output. So you can, like, almost overwhelm them yourself. This is a good rotation. Oh, nice. You still get the kill.
Yeah,
that's a good rotation.
Gave him a cheeky toss.
Yeah, Stonk's just AFK farms.
Yeah, I was just looking at what he was doing. He tried to stack with bugs. I was really confused.
That does not work.
Does not work, yeah. So you stacked for the SF instead, which I guess is fine. And we definitely had a very hard lane. Yeah, it's kind of the same principle as like Sand King, where if you think you can go pull, you pull. Or you cut creeps. You're trying to... There's a point in the lane where you just need to change something. So whether that something is you going into the jungle, hitting some creeps, or you cutting, or you're pulling, or, something happening, right? But, when at a certain point, the status quo is bad for you. So you need to attempt to change it. I think we talked about that already, but just reemphasizing it. So, continuing. Yeah, they did this. The Tiny is just so fucking cool. Cool hero. All right, so good time to talk here, Spaz. This is probably where you go base, and I would no longer return to this top lane. I'm probably not needed anymore to help this guy sustain. We actually get caught here.
Sure, I come and kill this fucking axe.
Well, I mean, if he's gonna do this, then yeah, you fucking kill him. What the? I mean, I mean, yeah.
It was
I threw a
strange.
fishy at him.
Yeah, that was an odd one. That yeah. And you see this, and you should be hitting mid. Yes, sir. So this early portion looks really nice, despite Fishy having a poor laning stage. You know, all of our other lanes went well, so we feel probably pretty okay.
And he just knows how to play Timber really well, so if I don't play around it, I'm just going to lose, basically.
Yeah, and that's fair. Yeah, no, that happens. But now he's...
During draft, this is like H's hero.
Yeah.
Like, he is Timber's soft player.
And it may have been like a little bit of an oversight to, leave it when you have like 2 strength cores too, right? Like that's just something.
Thought they needed. I thought they needed a mid.
But I think that if you, I think you probably aren't scared of Timber at that point because you're like, oh, we have S-Dive and he'll kill the Timber, right?
Yeah.
But your item build doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a draft like it's I don't want to say it's an oversight, but it's like this. It's just
didn't.
It's I don't know if it's a communication thing or just a critically thinking about the game thing, but something went wrong, right? And I won't harp on the Yules too much, but we're kind of seeing it, right? If you have a Yules here, you come bottom, this guy's just dead. Yeah, he has a hood, but you can chain stun him. You can bring +1 if you need to, even, right? The greatest way to deal with these vacuum heroes is to kill them. A hero like Timber, Necro, who they want to sit in a lane, they want to impose their will, be the strong hero in the lane, shoving the lane in, being a pain, pushing your tower. Best way to deal with them is just to fucking kill them. And if you can kill them, you reap the rewards in like 10 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes, right? As we know, Timber as a hero, if he dies once or twice, feels really bad. So that's kind of what I would be keeping in my mind to help you, help alleviate that issue a little bit. And you went top. I think that's really forced, Harb.
Yeah. Okay.
Is this an illusion?
That's an illusion.
Did you TP down here? Did you TP up here?
I think so. I thought we could get the kills up there because both Skirm and I were strong. I don't know. I forgot about that illusion mid though.
I mean that's fine. I'm just thinking.
So
I think this feels so forced to me because you're a hero that wants to snowball farm, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at the farm available to you on the map right now, and I'm like,
I could have just like farmed my way.
I'm just like sad for you, right? Yeah, like the fact that you go top, I'm looking mid. You probably get 2 waves mid. You get this camp, you get this, you get all of this, and then you can maybe go bottom to the Timber even. Like, oh, that's like a wet dream.
Yeah.
But instead, you go top, and you can probably math it out, like how many creeps you miss, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Instead, you're just doing this stuff. And Spaz still dies. I guess I should preface it. You're not a strong hero if you don't have your ulti most of the time on SF, which might be just a play. Like you don't play a lot of the hero thing. All right, Fishy, what's the big thing we notice about this top fight?
I cannot be there.
We can't be there? Other big thing, what hero can no longer be in your lane?
Timber Saw.
Yes, sir. What does that mean for you?
I can push the tower.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to push this in until somebody comes and stops you.
Let's find out. I don't remember.
I think I'm a thief of his creeps.
This is, I mean, that's fine, but you guys recognize that we're all top, so this tower should die. But it's Fishy's job to get this started, and then people can connect to him. And this is perfect. Yep. You can give him mid, get his level 6. That's perfectly fine. And I would be down here, Harb.
Down there. I guess.
So, trying to think of how we know that you need to be down here. It's... You look at their... I guess I'm just... You look at their lineup, right? It feels they have the two pretty strong heroes, right? Axe and Timber.
Mm-hmm.
Timber specifically hates losing his towers for free because he is a strong hero. He's a wall. So if you're a wall and you're not in front of the stuff to protect, are you really a wall?
No.
Right? That's a cool way of thinking about it. But so you probably know the worst thing that could happen is that Timbersaw comes down here. Because if you're not here, your team cannot kill him. Sad. Also, maybe if you're here sooner, you probably get the tower. But, you know, that's another...
Yeah. Probably other aspect is like, ult up. Probably don't necessarily need to farm. Can look for kills.
There's a couple options. So, and it kind of depends on what time, on like how desperately you think you need to fight. But, you know, there's a couple options. One of which is you tell your team, I'm not going top, or I can't be bottom. Just tell them, like, I can't be bottom. You're gonna go shove mid. You're gonna go fucking farm everywhere. And your team, knowing that you aren't coming to this, will probably back when they see numbers. That's a fairly reasonable thing to do. Why did you go Midas?
Groom likes gold.
What the fuck is this? Scrim, if I see you buy Midas on another safe laner, I'm literally quitting the team.
Deal.
Alright, do we have a deal?
Deal.
He's about to build a Midas in our game tomorrow.
I mean,
He's not playing
you,
tomorrow.
you can tell Tree why Brightside left the team.
Wait, we're not playing tomorrow?
No, I'm not
we are
playing
playing
tomorrow.
tomorrow. We have a stand-in for Scroom, so
You can be the one to
Pause
tell
one tomorrow.
Treebeard why your coach is no longer with you.
So boxes. I'm playing pause 1 tomorrow, and we have the Divine 2 playing mid tomorrow. So
So
that is what's happening.
why is this Midas so bad? Let's have a little discussion here.
It's a greedy fucking item.
It's a greedy item, but sometimes greedy items are okay. So why is this item so bad in this case?
I need to be
You're
doing
playing
on the map.
a hero that doesn't.
You
to
need
be that greedy.
pretty much the TLDR is you need to be able to be to be a functioning core
Yeah.
at 13 minutes. Right? You need to be able to do damage. You need to be able to show up to fights. You can kind of do that because of your hero, but you're not really a threat with Midas, right? Not only does Echo gives you equal farming speed, but it also lets you kill stuff. So what's the downside?
I don't get to press the Midas button.
Exactly, yeah. The downside is you don't get to press the Midas button. Alright, and you get gone on here, and Harb's here, but it feels really bad.
Imagine if I had a real item.
Imagine if you had a real item. I'm imagining.
Yeah, no, but Brett said that's a deal. I'm not buying Midas again. And if I do, you can quit.
Deal. Bet.
Like, this is my thing. Like, I fucking hate Midas as a fucking item. I hate buying that shit. I ignore that.
I mean, I'm not like mad at you or anything. I'm just saying like it's an active detriment to your ability to win the game at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm being so
Yeah,
dramatic
no,
about it so it gets through your thick skull about this creep shitting shit.
Yeah, it was kind of like I was like, oh, I came out of lane after getting like 3 kills. I was like, I have 1,700 gold. What should I buy?
So it's
like, probably an Echo's favor, but then I was like, but the Midas button was too tempting.
there's some curious things that you can do on Carry Tiny, and your item build is can be kind of fluid. I've seen some Carry Tinies, they have a free lane and they just buy Blink.
Yeah, that might have honestly,
Right, and
I wouldn't have hated a blink here. I would have like Because then I could have just killed any backliner that showed their fucking.
Yeah,
face.
absolutely. You take your snowball and you buy a snowball item, and then you keep snowballing, and then you buy your echo after.
Yeah.
Right, that's something that I see some mids do. But same idea,
shit.
echo also works. What'd you say?
Snowball into more snowball.
Wow. A crazy
Damn.
concept.
It's the true Canadian way.
All right, so we're going to defend this tower, rightfully so, but there's a proper way to do this. So does SF want to be the one actively killing the wave in front of your mid tower?
No, it should be
No.
tiny.
It should be tiny. Why is it
Should be
tiny?
me or potentially the Dawnbreaker, but it should be
Yes.
me.
Yes. Why does it need to be Scream, probably?
He's the hardest to kill.
He's the hardest to kill. And he's got them.
Well,
He's.
also, I can clear the wave so fucking.
I mean, SF can kill the wave too, but it's a combination of the two.
Yeah.
So if Scream wants to be mid, you want to defend this tower, that's fine. SF can be doing fuck all knows. You can be bottom or some shit, right?
Should be bottom.
Just keep your TP up. You want to be the second or third hero into a fight because of the nature of your hero.
Yeah.
So that's really sad, and this guy is just farming top for free now. And we kind of already said we don't have the greatest ways to address this hero, which is fine.
I built a blink, you would have.
If we, that's true, right? When we, and I guess we'll talk about it a little bit more on items, right? If we go into at the end of a draft and we realize we don't have great answers to a hero, what's the only way that we could get answers to a hero then?
Items.
Items. So we need to go into a game thinking I might have to itemize to catch this guy or to kill this guy. Because it's a very good Weaver game, right? Not a lot
I
of...
should have built Abyssal.
Not a lot of... should have built Abyssal, exactly, yeah.
Should have gone Blink, Abyssal, BKB.
But you guys are seeing my point, where you need to... The whole goal to all of these coaching sessions is that we start actively thinking about game states.
Yeah.
How our heroes interact is part of the game. And they should directly influence our items and our map movements and everything. But specifically items in this case. Alright, so boxes TP's here, that's fine. We've, the storm has been survived for now. We took bottom with boxes, or with Fishade, that was good. Or it died to the cardio, I'm not sure. But we're still okay with this game state, and I think
This is kind of awkward.
we don't quite kill him here. That's awkward, unfortunate. This guy dies.
Yeah, I threw Spaz at him because I was like, see you later, Spaz. Oh, that was unfortunate for Spaz.
So what are we noticing when happens to this? What that's happening mid a lot with us right now?
We kind of had a
Die.
stalemate.
We're dying, and we're kind of stalemating. So we've
like my
taken.
teammates
Let's think critically here. We've taken their tower. They haven't taken our tower. So they're naturally going to bring heroes mid because there's an objective here for them to take. It's a low objective too. So we need to constantly be thinking about who we're sitting in front of this mid tower at all times. It doesn't go away. Unfortunately, right? It's kind of this like constant thorn that you have to always address with. Or you always have to address. Because if you don't, it just dies for free.
Yeah.
And we kind of already said that it probably needs to be either Scrim or Dawnbreaker. And we just need to be chill. So one thing that you can do a lot is when you have this tower advantage, you know the enemies are going to come here, and you accept that they're going to bring numbers here, and you just delay this mid push. And then you take that numbers advantage you have elsewhere, and you farm, or you get kills, or you do anything else with it. In this case, maybe you put your Dawnbreaker mid, and she just sits here and she kills the wave, she farms the small camp, and then your Tiny's bottom, your SF is, maybe he's farming the top jungle, right? And you're just playing super efficiently around the map. Because what's the assumption we're working under? They're going to come
They
for this
want
mid
the
tower.
mid
They
tower.
want the mid tower. It's an obvious thing, right? Makes sense. So we could maybe even like, you could probably kill this guy top with like a bushwhack into an ulti. Harb. So, and it kind of bugs me that like you guys just accepted that the Weaver was unkillable.
Yeah.
I'd believe that maybe if you had 0 stuns.
We have stuns though.
You have stuns. You have damage.
It's just hard to
I'm not saying it's
with
easy.
our items. Yeah.
Is it... How do I word this? Is it better to let him sit top and free farm or to push him out of top?
Push them out of top.
Push him out of top. So what's the worst that could happen by us? I guess, okay. What's the probable
kill.
scenario to us, going on him top?
You don't kill him, but you get him out of the
You don't go on him, but you force his ulti maybe, and he has to run away. Right?
Yeah.
What happens then as a result if our carry is then bottom? If Scrim is sitting... No. If Scrim is bottom here, so...
Carries farming while there runs away.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
exactly! Boom! Don't overcomplicate it. You're going on their carry. Your carry's free farming with the Midas, so he's farming even more, I guess. But that's how you get your carry a net worth advantage. He already has one just naturally by his hero. Like, he's got a Midas, so he's going to farm a little faster and whatnot. But his hero has natural cleave, right? He's kind of just like Sven at this point. So you send...
for 5 attacks.
Yeah, pretty much. So you send him bottom. You make a move on top. You force him out of here. You push this all in. And then you're kind of free to do whatever you want on the map at that point. Because you feel super good about your game state. Instead, we've just kind of... This happened last week. Where we had 2 cores... Or maybe this was 2 weeks ago. Where we had 2 cores farming in this triangle. We should be actively avoiding this. If you guys find yourself in this scenario, you should just delta split to lanes. Like, one of you goes mid, one of you goes bottom.
Okay.
And, I mean, Scrim should already be bottom probably anyways, but this is like, you feel super cramped when this happens.
Yep.
And Scrim's going to walk bottom now, so this works out, but it bugs me that, no active attempts are being made. We're playing reactionary Dota right now, which is like the opposite of what we're striving for. And they walk in here. Spaz eats the gank. We saw 3 heroes there. What does that mean can happen top?
Push it out.
Oh, go fishy. Go fishy. You love to see it. Alright, we're acting under a similar game state to last game now. We're entering a similar scenario where... Who is...
They want to run at us.
They want to run at you, right? Why do we know that they want to run at you?
Axe got
They're
one.
fucking lying.
Axe got his Blink Dagger. They just got a kill. They're trying to snowball that kill into more kills, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do as best we can to dodge them and shove lanes. And I think we saw them run top, so we're just gonna mirror them. Yep. Scrim's gonna get gone on here, but you're fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I even tossed one of my illusions at him.
Yep, this is perfect. So now you gotta kill mid on the support. And you see them all running top. Boom.
Harb's bottom.
Harbor's
I go
bottom. Yeah, this is exactly what we were just talking about. You two are in separate lanes, and if they all are
Hungry.
congregated in the top lane, are you okay with this trade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's something you have, somebody should actively ask. I don't care who it is, but just ask, are we okay with taking this trade? And probably odds are, Tiny and Harb are going to say, yeah, we're both free farming. right?
Select boxes to ask this question.
Did Boxes ask this question?
I don't remember.
Because that's a great question to
I,
ask.
I think he actually was like, he's like, do we want to defend this? Are we okay giving this up? And
I'd be like, abso-fucking-lute. Okay, well, Harv does not share that sentiment.
I asked it in our game earlier, so I don't know. I don't know if I did this.
Wait, did we ask? Did you ask?
This is-
Yeah.
This is what we call a trap fight. Nothing of real value comes out of taking this fight. Maybe you get a couple kills, but your game state doesn't really change off of this fight, in my eyes. Barring, you maybe you team wipe them, but that's unrealistic in my opinion. So,
particularly since the Weaver wasn't there.
yeah, that's true. The Weaver's not there.
So we can't team wipe them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's just, we're trying to get out of this reacting to what the enemy's doing all the time.
Yeah.
Because when when you react to what the enemy's doing in Dota, you're you're a step behind and you're doing what they want. Right? When you make a move, you expect a certain reaction from the enemy. And you guys are literally doing exactly that. You're just they clearly feel like they're strong enough to do this, and I would agree with them. So you coming here, I feel like you're not. It's like it's unrealistic to get these kills. Maybe you get this.
You got saved.
Yeah, and this is worst case scenario now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing it kind of play out a little bit. All right, so I think that fight's poor. And let me just say, if somebody asked that question of, are we okay with giving this up? And it's okay if somebody says, no, it's not okay. If the whole team does it, which you kind of did there, as long as we now can reflect on it and think about it for the next time where we're like, maybe we're free farming on 2 heroes. Maybe we just, go try and pressure the Weaver or something. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Like that is an option. I will say one thing that we're seeing a distinct lack of in these games is just smokes. So we haven't really been using smokes to try and find kills. And there have been plenty of windows to do so. Just keep in mind, the only times that we want to be smoking are usually when our lanes are out. So, okay, we get that kill. Scrim's getting gone on. They die. So this is like best case scenario. You saved your tower, but like Weaver was farming this whole time. Your SF died once. Your lanes need shoved. Like I don't feel good about the map at this point. So, we're going to keep farming. Alright. What did we just hit, Harb?
BKB timing.
BKB timing. What does that normally mean? We hit a big power spike on a core.
Fight.
Fight!
Fight.
Smoke! Fight. Yes! Do something! I swear to God, if you...
I think we go...
Dude, you guys are going to trigger me with this fucking triangle farming shit. Maybe you find series here. Nope. But you guys should smoke. You guys got BKB. Like, you should be strong. Oh, I'm upset. Okay, maybe you need to shove your lanes first. I mean, I'm okay with this. Oh. This tower's being pressured. This tower's being pressured. Now, alright, now I think this is awesome timing to fight up here. Absolutely, yes. Nice. Keep going. Don't go farm. Don't you go farm. Sad. So, yeah, this is just kind of going too far into their vision. Not together. So like we probably know they have vision top, right? We just got to kill. We feel strong. We still need to respect that they have a blink axe. So it's awesome that you guys... I agree, you probably should have chased. I think if you chase all together, that fight probably still goes well. But Harb splits off. The second Harb goes top, you can't go anymore. The main reason is that he's like 75% of your damage. We're not quite there yet on the old Tiny. And now we give an approach. So I will say, I know it's obviously getting increasingly difficult to kill this Weaver, but we've yet to see a single move towards him.
Yeah.
And we are 25 minutes into the game now. And I'm not saying they have to work every time. I'm just saying put some pressure on the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a failed gank can be nearly as effective as killing them. Words of wisdom.
You miss 100% of the ganks you don't take.
Alright. What important piece of information have we just been given?
Timber TP'd bottom.
Timber TP'd bottom. Go, go, go. Nice. Perfect. Take the kill.
I told him he didn't need to use his Requiem. So
What important piece of information have we just been given?
Axe is
Axe is
dead.
Axe is
Weaver's
dead.
top.
Weaver's top. Go, go, go,
Timber
go,
can't be
go. Timber, well, Timber can be bottom. Oh, okay. Good point, actually. You can go either direction. Probably just go kill. It's hard because he has an Aegis. I might have just gone bottom here.
Popping the Aegis would have...
But popping the Aegis is equally as good, absolutely, right? You can do either. And that's the liberty, right? You've got your lanes in a decent spot. You got to kill. You know they're split. Pick your poison. I think it's completely fine to go top here.
I think we need to commit to one of our ideas, though.
Yes, you need to commit to one of them. And you kind of committed top, and then he got away. So maybe that's partially why I thought it might be better to go bottom. But
Just for the wins at this point.
yeah, and we
Because
like
we weren't all on the same page.
yeah, absolutely. You're not really on the same page, and then you start the fight. Your SF's BKB gets wasted. Like once that happens, you kind of just have to run. You gotta cut your losses. And it feels bad. Fish is gonna shove top here, which is really good. But you remember how we were talking about last game where the enemies had no catch, so they could abuse the fact that you didn't have catch?
They're doing that to us.
They can kind of do that this game. And it's like in the form of this little bug, right? He can kind of do whatever he wants because you don't have catch. So it just goes to show how important it is to, you know, shore up those weaknesses with items.
Yeah.
You see this double damage Weaver sprinting through the top lane. You're going to just back. Perfect. You'll shove lanes. So at this point, game's really hard. They have Aegis. We probably need to wait BKB on Scroom. So that would be what I'm communicating, is that we cannot fight until BKB on Tiny. That also means that farm needs to go to the Tiny at Harb.
Yeah.
Just, you know, taking his creeps,
Smiley face.
smiley face. And then we'll defend when we can. Yep, this is perfectly fine.
Sure, it was like, yo, Harb, we can two-shot this tower, come down here. And we do.
Yeah, we decided probably at this point, given how the game was going, base race.
I think this is a
the
completely
power is
reasonable
just as hard.
decision. Unfortunately, they have an axe, so you cannot BKB TP.
Yeah, I did not see him TP, so.
I think that's a completely
I'm not
respectable
gonna
decision.
call.
The second they glyph, you've got to just back as fast as you humanly can, though.
Yeah. I probably should just keep running.
Because now you lose your axe. right? Scrim gets caught here by the axe.
It's a feels ban. No.
And at this point, the Weaver's kind of like... I'm not going to say he's unkillable quite yet. He doesn't have Satanic, but the game's definitely gotten very hard. So...
I feel like him going Daedalus instead of
Oh,
small crit Satanic
let me
was
just
bad
say,
on his part.
his item build was egregiously greedy this game. And that's another reason why I was upset with you guys that we didn't even try to do anything to him.
Yeah.
He has 2,000 HP still. We're 32 minutes into the game. Like,
He
It's okay.
still gets one shot by my ult.
he still gets one shot by a tiny combo with him hitting him out of Silver Edge,
Yeah,
right?
That's
Like,
true, yeah.
there's a lot of things that you could be trying. And we smoke
Yeah.
up here. And we're gonna go bottom. But there's really nothing to do bottom but hit creeps. By habit, so I don't know if we're looking for a fight or not, but if you're looking for a fight and the enemies just took Drax and back, they're almost always going to be in their triangle. Because that's the natural gravitation point for them, is they'll go back, and then they'll go farm triangle, and then they'll go top. Because they want to play for Roche, which respawns relatively soon anyways. Dragonlance, also a cool item on right-click SF. I kind of forgot about that item, but...
Yeah, usually you go Dragonlance into Silver's Edge.
You're gonna go high here. And we should immediately go on these guys because we saw the axe TP.
Yeah, that's what I called for.
This is
I think this
good.
is actually the one time that we killed a Weaver.
This is good. You're dead. That's not good. You buy back.
It's mad that for some reason my avalanche doesn't stop his chain from yanking him away.
Yeah, cool hero. So I don't mind that. You're just really far behind. It's really hard when you're this, like, that's actually about as good as you can get there, right? You force their catch to TP bottom, and then you TP so you get a numbers advantage. So you have to try and take that fight. We have Scream BKB. So, to be honest, has the Weaver done much this game?
No.
No. What's really been, your Achilles heel this game?
Timbersaw.
There's supports in Timbersaw.
Yeah,
Any Midas.
You're your own Achilles heel, Crappa. Honestly, I think it's been the Shadow Demon specifically. Right, the Purge plus his disruption in these fights has been fucking killing you guys, right?
Yes.
So I think if you could ever take a fight where you killed him first, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
And you have the damage to do so, to take these fights. Let me be very clear, right? It's all about just finding that initiation. Unfortunately, Roche has respawned. They're bottom. Is this thing good? Interesting.
Some part of me wishes instead of queuing up the AEC, you have decided to go fucking just Swift Blink.
Maybe.
Might have actually made it.
I'm
so I can
glad
go
I feel like we've all kind of realized that we didn't fully think through the items maybe that we needed to go in order to like take fights, right?
Yeah.
Because like, is it realistic to just walk into these heroes with Silver Edge?
Oh, at 1K.
No, not really.
No, right? What's gonna happen?
They have detection.
They probably
slap
have.
my
Yeah, they
kitty.
probably have sentries there.
They
and
probably have
that's one of the
sentries.
parts.
You get purged, you get called, you get ice path, you get killed. So, Silver Edge, I think, it was probably fine on Tiny, like, at a certain point. I feel like that's the standard itemization, but
Yeah.
I think Shadow Fiend going it as well is, like, super greedy, right? So one or the other from you guys. Just talk about it.
I also think where we said
Whoa.
to try and go throne here, Harb, we should have just taken 2 racks here in the time it takes them to take 1.
Yeah. Again, they don't really have building hitters, and it's just fucking.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
Just-
Weaver
like,
is...
just the Weaver.
Yeah, Weaver is a building hitter at this point, so... I
But
mean,
you would still take-
I like the ideas, like, you've recognized you can take buildings really fast. If you're, like, a step faster on getting out, you delay the game significantly, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of just have to be aware that they're going to TP back and kill you. Because it's worked every single time so far, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to be aware that they're going to do that. And there it is. Sag.
Yeah.
So this is a good game. So it was mostly itemization. I think we all, for the most part, realize what items we could have gone. And then I think the other big thing is if you have a carry player like Scroom who loves hitting creeps, and you can generally trust him to hit creeps in a relatively efficient manner, right? I'm not saying he's going to farm perfectly, but he's going to be pretty fucking farmed if you give him space most of the time, right? That next step is recognizing if we pressure their carry, what's the end result? So if they have a carry like Weaver who can die to our jump, if we ever, threaten him, he has to run away. And then kind of capitalizing on that. So I think there's a couple of layers there that we're like slightly missing. We're almost there. I would love to see a little bit more utilization of smokes, specifically smoking towards vision and off of power spikes. So power spikes being BKB timings, blink timings, big item timings, etc., etc. Those.
Like
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, the one time for this that I've gotten particularly coached was whenever, like, they said you get, like, your blink timing on any hero, essentially, just buy the smoke yourself with your blink, because then you can just be like, hey, I have this item coming, my smoke's coming as well, we're fighting with my timing. That's how you get them doing powers.
Yeah, absolutely. I do that. I've done that all the time. Yeah, you're completely right. Right. An ideal world, if you can afford the smoke, buy it for yourself, right? Who cares? It's 50 gold.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One other big thing that I'd like to see is we're already kind of there, right? And we're abusing TP cooldowns. That next step is smoking off of a hero TPing somewhere. So, right, that's kind of a power spike of its own, right? If you think about it, because they've lost a hero, so you're now stronger. So, I'm just, sit at this black screen for a little bit, but so that's pretty much it. Do we have any questions about the games before we finish up here? Crickets. So the TLDR is that our carry Tiny bought a Midas, so we lost because of that. Smile.
God damn it.
God damn it, Scroom. I'm mostly kidding, but it was definitely a grief.
Oh,
But-
you don't know how much I was like halfway through the game. I was like, no, this game would be different if I had a blink instead of this gold shiny hand in my pack.
And it happens. I'm not like flaming. It's just one of those things you have to. Once you buy it, it's too late, right? So.
Yes, well, I bought it, and I was seeing it on my courier, and I was like, hang on, this is the same amount of gold as my blink dagger.
Yeah, yeah. So
But imagine if you won with it. Imagine how amazing that would have been.
I think there's a couple conversations that you guys can have as a team before the game starts, where you kind of hash out who's buying the blink, who's doing like damage, like what items does Spaz may or what items does Scroom maybe want. Especially when Harb and Scroom are playing similar role heroes, where you can both go the blink. Either of you can be a damage dealer, right? So finding that balance is something you can talk about before the game starts, and it helps shore up like the in-game communication. Also, something I found that helps a lot with those things is like if you're, for example, Harb, if you're like unsure if you want blink, or if you want to go like Silver Edge or blink or Yules, just like ask your team, because generally they have an idea as to what might need to happen as well. So that's also something to keep in mind. So obviously, you at the end of the day, it's your hero, so pick or like itemize how you feel you need. But sometimes if your team feels you need a Yules that game, like a Yules blink, then maybe you might need to like rethink your approach to the game, right?
Yeah.
So that's just one other way to maybe like help shore up those things.
Right side, I've been seeing more like Battle Fury carries being back in like pro games and stuff. Is that here? Is Battle Fury back? Is basically what I'm asking.
I think it is on like Troll, PA.
I've seen it on Monkey King a few times.
I'm not convinced it's back on MK, but maybe it is.
I've also seen it on Jug a couple times, which I'm never really convinced about with Jug, because Jug just does so much with other items.
Yeah, I know Troll is the big one, because for Troll you can go Battle Fury BKB, and then you're like insanely strong.
You're insanely strong. Also, like you get Battle Fury so fucking fast on the hero, because if you buy the Void Stone, it gives you all the mana you need to use the Whirling Axes all the time.
What's the skill build on the hero right now? Is it still
Depends
you
on
max axis first?
It depends
or...
on your lane. I was talking to Scroom about this the other day. I think if
Yeah,
you're against a melee hero, you can bully and threaten with your Q. You go 4-1 or 4-4-1.
Yeah.
And if you're against a hero, you can't really contest or pressure. It's 1-4-4.
Yeah, it's also I've seen like the he sent to me, and specifically he stops getting points in the W at 3 before maxing the other skill he chose to, and then maxes the W again after he maxes the second skill.
So
he
he
goes
maxes
1-3.
W second. Okay.
Yeah, so he goes 1-3-1 and then maxes whichever of the other two skills, and then maxes the W.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's RDO. That's RDO. He's not the best player in NA, but he's very good. So
I also saw like when I watched a Double King stream, and he played Troll one of the games, and that's what he did as well.
Well, yeah, it's funny because I've talked to him a little bit about it, and he said he probably needs to do it more. So